Do you know who I am? I'm Karen Stacy. I have my own talk show. You can come to my talk show anytime. We have Coffee Talk with Karen every weekday at 11 a.m. And we have Real Talk with Karen Stacy every Tuesday at 8 p.m. It's not your mama's talk show. Make sure you tune in. Make sure you follow. Make sure you subscribe. And let's have some fun, baby. You can find us on all social media platforms. Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Periscope, and on MiamiMikeRadio.com. Testing. Is this mic working? You better believe it is. I'll see you guys soon. Hey guys, how are you? Good evening. All right, let me get here on the comments. Having a hard time getting on Miami Mike Radio again. I don't know what's going on here. But I'm here nonetheless. We are live. Oh my God, I think I almost slept through the show. Is that bad? I was like, I got on my couch. I was like, oh my God, I can't wake up here. I don't know what's going on. So yeah, really crazy. Anyway, I don't know why I can't connect here, but it's not connecting. So anyway, here we go. Nonetheless, I am here. I am recording. It is what it is. Let me see. Is anybody here with me tonight? Who's here? I see my Carmela was here first thing. Good evening. Hi, Rosie. How are you? Hi, Alyssa. You're here, honey. Maria. Good evening. Hey, Russell. How are you? What's going on here? Where the hell is everybody? Say hello to me, goddammit. Hey, Gina. Good evening. Thank you for sharing. Hi, Mark. Oh, I missed some comments here. Hold on a second. Where's my Eunice? Where is she? Oh, Carmela already tagged her. Yay, I'm able to tune in on the plane coming back to NYC. Sorry I missed the show this morning. I did miss you, Gina, but you know what? I get it. And you're here now, so that's what's important. Hi, Lisa G. How are you? Bruno, good evening. Hey, John, how are you? You haven't been on since Saturday. So hi, how are you? It was a pleasure to finally meet you on Saturday. We had some fun, right? I was playing a couple of clips, but you missed them. Anyway, who's here? Who else is here? Come on, I need you guys because I'm solo tonight. So you and me, we're going together. We're going to do this. Hey, from Florida, I'm visiting my family. Oh, okay. Good for you, Russell. Enjoy your family. Yeah, we need Jersey Jimmy. Where the single people at? Where the single people? Where are they? Get on here. It was a fun night. Absolutely, John. Absolutely. Yes, Gina, thank you for tagging her as well. Thank you, Alyssa. You are the best. Yeah, you know, I have to laugh. You know, I was talking to, so one of my dear friends was Lady T to DJ my party, right? And she was saying, she was thinking about all these things, and she goes, I always think of things when I'm on the can. And I started laughing. I said, oh my God, that's when I always come up with all of my topics and stuff, like when I'm in the shower or I'm on the bowl, you know, because then you start thinking. The bad thing is, you know, when you're old, you forget what you were just thinking about, right? So like if my phone isn't in my hand and I don't jot down a note, I totally forget what I was thinking. And it's all making sense in my head, but I can't get it, like I won't remember it. And I'm like, oh, I got this for sure. And I don't remember it. I even write it down and I forget the exact wording that I used. I mean, Tony, where were you this morning? We missed you. Thank you, Alyssa. So I actually did not have this idea on the bowl. I had this idea because people talk to me, right? Don't ask me why. No, I'm only kidding. People talk to me and they tell me, I mean, most people, you think I just play, something on TV. I really am like a therapist, right? So people talk to me about these things and people think I know the answers. So I must be really good at what I do because I don't know the answers. I make it up as I go along. You know what I'm saying? No, I mean, I do and I don't. Obviously. Hey, Rick, how are you? Listening while cooking dinner. Wow, you're cooking late, mama. Anyway, so people talk to me about these things, right? And I have a dear friend of mine, and they always seem to, hook themselves up with the wrong fucking people. And, wonder why things don't go as they're supposed to. So this particular person was telling me as well that they did not, I guess after their last, was it 2 wives? I don't remember. But after, the last breakup that they were very like damaged from it, right? So what do I always say, you guys? What do I always say? You gotta do the work. Right? So you can't go into another relationship when my Emily, hi, mama. Hi, Rita. All right, you guys are piling in. Let's go. Get in here. Because, see, I start talking about the subject and everybody's like, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? So, he said to me, I'm just better off alone. It's easier. So I ponder this and I say, and he's going back and forth telling me all this stuff. And I say, you know what? That's a good topic for a show. So here we go. I'm going to type this out. Let's see. Is it easier to be single or alone? Because you know what? I originally said, I had originally said this. Let me see. Hold on a second. All right, there we go. Hey, Helene, how are you? Listen, I got to change up my style all the time. What could I tell you? You're lucky I'm here and my eyes are open. I'm like tired girl today. This is what happens when I see now I'm finally 51. So now I'm like tired all the time. Is that what happens? Yeah, it is a good question, right? Yeah, easier to be. So sends her love, easier to be alone. So I think this is, oh, thank you, Mama. I think it's a really great topic because, and even my son, Mr. Nosy Butt. So, Mom, what are you going to talk about tonight on your show? So I said, well, I'm going to talk about, my friend was saying, whatever, is it easier to be alone? So my son goes, well, that's a very two-sided answer. I said, I know, this is why I do this. He's like, all right, well, how else are you going to talk about this? I'm like, no, you know what I do. He's like, you're going to read comments? You're going to take people's questions? I'm like, you know how I do this, okay? So stop it. You're looking for, something to talk about here. I feel I almost did takeout tonight. I hear you, Alyssa. Trust me when I tell you. Okay, Maria, the first question is, do you feel alone when you're involved? Woo! There's a loaded freaking question. If the answer is yes, then you are better alone or by yourself. You know what, Maria? Psh, bingo, real talk. And that's the funny thing, right? Is that people that feel that they're better off alone, in my opinion, haven't been with the right people. That being said, you could be in the happiest of marriages or the happiest of relationships, and you still like want to kill that person sometimes. You still need that alone time, right? The worst thing, and I've battled that a lot, is when you feel alone. Well, Maria said, do you feel alone when you're involved? Besides feeling alone when you're involved, I think it's a better question at that point to ask yourself, when you're in a room full of people, why you ever feel alone in a room full of people? And you know what? They're not your people. That's why you feel alone. A. B, you feel alone because there's something missing that's inside of you. And until you heal that, you could be in a crowd of 1,000 and you would still feel alone, right? Actually, the more people that are around you, the more lonely you feel sometimes, because when we feel alone in a room full of people, there's usually, like I said, 2 reasons for that. One of the reasons is because we feel irrelevant. And if someone else's value of you is what makes you relevant, then you are never going to be relevant. I walk in the room, I'm fucking here. I don't know who you are, but I know who I am. I'm here. And you know what? You don't want to freaking play with me. You don't want to pay attention to me. Whatever. I mean, I went through that growing up, you know. I always hung out with like the cool kids, but I wasn't like the cool kid of the cool kids. You know what I mean? So like I was always the one kind of like, hey, I'm talking, you know. I mean, you guys hear me going, excuse me, I'm still talking. So yeah, I got issues sometimes because I hate when people just dismiss you while you're in the middle of fucking talking, you know, because they're going to listen to somebody else or because they're done with you. I'm sorry, excuse me. Did I finish talking? No. So there are a lot of people that will make you feel alone. And yes, there is nothing worse than being in a relationship and being in the room crying by yourself and your partner doesn't even know you're crying. Now that's also our fault, right? Because we're hiding in the bathroom or wherever, right? So that they're not aware of it. But I'm the type of person, I just got to look at you and I already know something's wrong. I know it. So I'm the first person, like, don't come around me if you're not in a good way, because I'm going to know you're not in a good way. And I'm going to call you on it, not because I want to embarrass you or call you out, but because I care. So I'm going to be the first person that's going to be like, all right, what's going on here? You know, like you're not yourself or whatever the case. So, you know, it is very, very hard because a lot of people, you know, I look at, you know, my situation where I really am very much alone. And I have very, very few people around me. And I do have certain people around me that make me feel alone or irrelevant, or not even irrelevant, unimportant. So, you know, there's a dynamic that takes place between people. And there are certain people that will always give you that dynamic of like you are it. You know what I mean? And then you have other people that will always give you the dynamic of you're not enough. So is it easier then to be alone? Is it easier then to be single when your partner doesn't make their world revolve around yours? Because isn't that how it's supposed to be? I mean, seriously, aren't we supposed to You know, our worlds is supposed to revolve around the people that we love, and especially that one person that you choose to live and share your life with. They should know, you should know right away. I know that is, I matter. And you know what? So many of us have relationships with people and we don't matter to them, and yet we're still having relationships with them. Why are we doing this? Why do we do this? And I'm genuinely asking the question because, I mean, I'm not perfect. I can say I've done it myself. So, you know, and I find myself doing it, and I say to myself, what are you doing, idiot? Why are you doing this? So let me see what you guys are saying. Because you guys are, so, oh, I love it. I see so many comments here. Okay, great. I'm going to be 53. Shush. Yeah, Helene, don't worry. Oh, Dip, guess who's in the house? Hey, Jose, how are you? It's not easier or happier. It's just is less complicated. Rita, I like that. That's a very, very good, that's a great analogy. It's not easier or happier, just less complicated. And so that's if you have a good relationship, it's less complicated. If you have a bad relationship, then that's different, right? Okay, so Tanya said, yes, the more I put in to relationships. Hi, Tanya, by the way. Yes, the more I put into relationships, the worse off I was. So yes, now I choose to be single, as I don't think I get the same respect in return. Okay. It's getting boring. Okay, I'm not going to read that, Jose. My son would say, Ma, shut up and don't talk. Jennifer Jones in the building. What's going on, honey bonnet? Georgie, you're back. Been rushed off my feet last few days. Hello, everybody. Oh, my goodness, Georgie, I was asking about you. I'm glad you're here. We have missed you very much. Helene, happiest of marriages still makes you miserable. It's the person themselves. I could be alone and still be packed with people. Right. And that's exactly what I was talking about, right? I'm not sure if you made that comment prior to what I was saying. Let me see. Jose said, I'll be honest, I don't think I would be better alone, but you bet you're behind that I'm staying in a bad relationship. I don't care if she's the hottest woman. I won't stay in a bad relationship. Okay. Us OS girls know what to do. Okay, let me see. Emily Brooke, being with somebody you are mutually in love with is the best. But being single is important too if you're not with the right person. Oh shit, Karen knows when something is wrong deep in her heart. I absolutely do, Emily. You know that, mama. Michael Stamos, hi, honey. Come on, share out this video. I want to hear what other people think about this. This is my topic for tonight. We're talking about this, you guys. Michael said, sure it is. Okay. Hold on. The comments just went cuckoo-looks. Give me a sec. I'm coming back to you guys. Yes, you are supposed to be mutually obsessed mentally and physically with each other. This is true. Hi, Nancy. Okay, facts. Preach, preach, preach. Tony, here I go. Michael Stamos, you have to deal with a lot of frogs to find a princess. It's work and effort, but if you get to the right place, the rewards are endless. I believe in that too. I am a hopeless romantic. And I always say it only takes one. And, it's true. I mean, we kiss a lot of frogs to get a prince. So I think the issue is, though, so here's a good point, Michael, that you're saying that, right? So after a while, you just get tired of kissing the frog. You know what I mean? Like, it's easier to be alone, right? It's easier to be single because it is hard work to be in a relationship. And that's for a multitude of reasons. Okay? A multitude of reasons. Miami Mike is checking to see why I can't get on. So let's see what happens with that. But yeah, so now I like everything you guys are saying so far. And you see how I'm saying, like, this is really like, this is a deep topic here. You know, we're going into. I'm really deep today. This morning I talked about, what did I talk about? How do you feel when people come in and out of your life? And now we're talking about, is it easier to be single or alone? Right? So that even ties into what we talked about this morning, right? When people come in and out of your life, it hurts, right? So is it easier to be alone? This way you don't have people in and out of your life? Because a lot of people said that, right? Like a few people said, I don't have that in my life because I don't allow it. So you know what? Good for you that you don't allow it, because I don't know anybody that doesn't have people that come in and out of their lives. And if you really have that much of a grasp on your life, then you are my hero, because I don't think any of us have that, to be quite honest with you. So thank you guys so much for tuning in to Real Talk with Karen Stacy. We are supposed to be live on Miami Mike Radio, but I'm not connected. We are live on Facebook on the Karen Stacy page. Hit that thumbs up button, you guys. Turn your notifications on so when we're live, you know it. Just in case you don't know, at 11 o'clock Monday through Friday and at 8 p.m. Tuesday nights, we're on. Hello. And don't forget to join the Real Talk Coffee Talk group. And you can invite all your friends to that. And then, of course, subscribe on YouTube and Twitch to Real Talk Karen Stacy. Now, I say that 3,229 times, like in a week. And do you actually do that? Probably not. But let me see if I can connect now. He didn't say anything. Well, no, you know what? I'm going to leave it alone because he didn't say anything to me now. Okay, so Carlos, good evening. Michael Stamos, nothing great comes without great effort. There you go. That's real talk right there. Let me see if anybody else. Okay, hold on a second. Comments just went cuckoo loops. I'm coming back for you guys. Okay, hold on a second. You make 0 shots if you don't take one. Very true. Hi, Vanessa. How are you? How are you? Oh, thank you, guys. I see my phone blows up every time you share my video. So don't think you can lie to me and you didn't share the video, because I see it. It comes up and it tells me who shared my video. I love you guys. Okay, let me see. Nancy, you have to love yourself before you can love anyone else. Nancy, you know what? Amen to that. I try to convey this to people all the time. I don't know if you've been on the show before, so welcome. But I say this to people all the time because, you know, the way you treat yourself will dictate how others will treat you. Sometimes we're lucky and we find really good people, and even if we're not good to ourselves, those people, you know, people are still good to us. But in general, yes, you have to love yourself first. And you know what? A lot of us don't. A lot of us don't love ourselves because we don't love, you know, our life, right? And so the thing about this is that, yes, there are certain things in life we really have no control over. I mean, I thought I had the world. I did. I had the world by the balls, right? I had an amazing marriage. I had, my son. I mean, I didn't need anything else. I had already done the career. I did all these things and I was happy, right? Which is not even, like I was 30. How old was I? No, I was like 40. Like I was finally happy. It took me that fucking long to find true happiness, not because I didn't have it in front of me, but because I didn't know how to be happy. I still don't know if I know how. Like, I'm learning as I go. So many of us are so used to being miserable. So many of us are so used to having anxiety and depression on us all the time that we're so used to bad things happening to us. We're so used to having shitty people around us. We're so used to all of these things that you know that thing, you have to unfuck yourself. That's really it. Because you don't even realize that you're that far under. And my husband used to say to me, Mama, life is good. You got to live your life. You got to be happy. And I was like, well, don't you think I want to do that? And I didn't know how. And you know what? As crazy as this sounds, maybe it was his will. But after, he died and I had no desire to live, I learned how to live. I learned how to find happiness, how to seek happiness, to feel blessed, because life is so short. And yeah, we get hit with a lot. And yeah, we all got the problems. We all got family members that have screwed us over. We all have, bills that we don't know how we're going to pay. We've all had a broken heart. We all have children that have gone through trials and tribulations. We all have it. But how do you find happiness? And the one thing I will say in regards to our topic for the evening, is it easier to be single or is it easier to be alone? Honestly, I don't think it is. I think that it's hard to be alone because when you're alone is when you must deal with your demons, right? So think about it. When you go to sleep at night, you wake up at 2:00 in the morning and your mind is racing. You're dealing with the demons, right? And you're going through all of these things and your mind is going, and being alone, it's dark, it's quiet, it exasperates everything that's going on in your head, right? And there's no distraction from your thoughts because you're alone. And you have no support because it's just you. Now, the flip side of that is you aren't alone and you have someone that is adding to all of your problems, or that might even be one of your problems. And now you want to be alone because that person is freaking killing you. So this is where this becomes a double-edged sword, because I don't like navigating this world by myself. I'm going to be straight up with you. I'm not that person. Like, I'm independent, don't get me wrong. I don't need a lot of people. But I needed that one person. I needed my husband. I really did. He was my everything. That's all I need. I need one person. I didn't care. I didn't have girlfriends. Women never liked me. I didn't need girlfriends. I didn't need nobody. I had him. I was good. I was self-sufficient enough that I just needed him. That was good. And when I lost him, I lost everything. So it's hard when you're alone. It isn't easy to be alone, but it's easier maybe to live alone, right? Fuck it, I ain't cleaning the bathroom today. Who's gonna say anything? Nobody. I don't feel like showering for the next week. Who's gonna say anything? Nobody. I don't feel like cooking tonight. Who's gonna say anything? Nobody. Well, of course, unless you have kids, then of course, God forbid you skip one meal, forget about it. But you know what I'm saying? So yes, it's easier because you don't have to do the work, because if you have a broken heart and somebody stompled all over it, it's easier when you're alone because nobody can touch your heart now, right? But then if nobody's touching your heart, then you don't feel love. You don't feel support. You don't feel companionship. And those things at the end of the day do matter. Do we really want to, when you go to take your last breath, do you want to be alone? I don't know. I mean, I think maybe for some of us, it's easier at some point in our life. Don't get me wrong. I battle with this myself because you get so set in your ways and you're so used to being alone that there's no room for anyone else. This is the reason why when we're younger and we have relationships, we get so much closer to people, so much faster, and we tolerate more because we're finding it out just the same, right? So we're all getting to know each other. Now that we are established, we have a roof over our head. Oh, hell no. You're giving me aggravation? See ya. Oh, I need to get laid? Okay, I have somebody for that. Oh, I need to, do this? Okay, I have somebody for that, right? And that's what people do. They don't want relationships. They want friends with benefits, fuck buddies, whatever the hell we call it these days, right? That's easier because there's no commitment, right? But what about the fact that, like sometimes you want somebody to snuggle on the couch with? What about that? Because somebody that you're just fucking, you ain't snuggling on the couch with them because it's just wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Right? Unless, of course, maybe it is a friend with the benefit. But then the friendship isn't what it would be because there's no way you can be friends, because if you're friends, you really care about a person, right? Once you start caring about a person and then there's a physical connection there, there's no possible way that one person isn't going to fall for the other person. I mean, we just know that this is just the way it goes. And even if it's just because you want more sex, I mean, it's going to happen. All right, I'm rambling on. Let me see what else you guys are saying. Alyssa, I think if I wasn't happily married in this world today, I would stay single and date if I met somebody worth dating. Well, good luck with that, because that's the problem, is finding people, like I said to you, dating at 50 or 40, whatever you want to say, 40, 50, 60, I don't give a shit. It's difficult. Because you either have the people that didn't do the work and they're still angry and resentful because their wife cheated on them, their husband cheated on them, whatever the case may be. I met somebody recently that is getting divorced. They've retired. And their spouse was upset because that person was working all the time, but they were working to make sure that their pension was going to take care of them. And whatever they wanted, they got. But they were resentful because they didn't spend time together, according to the spouse. And once they were able to retire, the spouse told them they wanted a divorce. So now this person is still madly in love with their spouse. And their spouse is, exited the premises. You know what that's like to have to leave someone that you're in love with? And provide for them for the rest of their life on top of that. So just in case it didn't hurt your heart enough, now you also got to pay for them to live without you. How's that for fun? If a partner is cool and chill, it made for a relationship great. Maybe, okay, I'm sorry. I just can't read that, honey. I can't make heads or tails with some of your comments. Jersey Jimmy, how are you, my sweetheart? For now, I prefer to be single. The love of my life passed away from cancer 2012. No woman measures up to her. Carlos, I feel you on that, and I send you much love. As far as measuring up, I know what you mean when you say that, but, we can't have that kind of a outlook, in my opinion, because no one is ever going to be my husband. No one is ever going to be your wife. They're going to be who they are, and that's okay. We just want a certain caliber of a person, right? I'm not settling for some fucking asshole because I could have 20 assholes. That's easy. But if you're going to be my one and only, then you have to be a certain caliber of a person so that it's easier to be with you than to be alone. It's easy to be with you. It's not easier being alone. It's not easy being without you because I need you. I want you. That's what we want. But the people that say to me, it's easier to be single, like my friend that, gave me the idea to do this show, they're not doing the work. They haven't healed from their past relationship, and they screwed up this one because they jumped to a conclusion. And now I guess that person that they were dating cut them off. I don't know all the details, but you can't go back and fix things. You can't give balloons and flowers and candy and everything once you throw somebody under the bus. I don't know. It doesn't work. I mean, when somebody does me wrong at my age now, I don't come back from that real quick. I have that stored in my data bank. I forgive people. Like I said on the show earlier, I forgive, but I don't forget. And I know what you're capable of. Now, that being said, can people change? Abso-fucking-lutely. Do most people change? Absolutely not. So yes, I do believe that people can change. 1,000%. I've done it myself. I was with my husband when we were 21 years old. When we got back together again at 30, he did, what do they call that? A 180, right? A 180. I never saw that man. I mean, I saw glimpses of him, but when that guy came out, he checked himself because he didn't want to be that person anymore. Just like me, I don't want to be that person. I could be the nastiest bitch you will ever meet. I don't want to be that person because that's not really who I am, but it's very easy. I could do it. It's very easy to be that way, right? But if you are making a concerted effort to change, you have to change, and you have to be that person 24 hours a day. It's like going on a diet. If you go on a diet and you don't change your lifestyle, you will never maintain it. You can go on a diet, you could starve yourself, you could lose 30 pounds, you could look phenomenal. And if you don't make a lifestyle change, eventually that weight is coming back, because you don't own that. So if you're pretending to be okay, or you're pretending to be a certain way, eventually people are going to see through that because your actions speak. So, sometimes you meet somebody and they may not be like, you may not be that thrilled with them, but they may grow as a person, and you may turn around and say, damn, like, I'm really proud of that person. Look at them. They're freaking awesome. Or you may be with somebody and think the world of this person, and as time goes on, you start to see this person declining. Is it life? Is it that they were perpetrating the fraud? Right? We don't really know, because time is the only thing that truly, truly shows someone's character, which is why so many people that jump into a relationship because they think everything is great. And, we all know these people, right? And they post it on Facebook. It looks like a love story, right? They're kissing. They got pictures of them here, pictures of them there. They're together 3 months. Okay, big whoop-de fucking do, right? 6 months later, you go back and the person is erased from their entire Facebook memories. They never existed. It's hysterical, right? Because people want a relationship. People want to be in a happy relationship so badly that they actually portray it to be a certain way, maybe even when it isn't that way. perpetrating the fraud. All right, here we go. Let me see. I know you guys are commenting. Tanya, well, it would be great to find, say, a partner with the same values and want to be in agreement rather than making too many conflicts. Yeah, I agree with that too. A lot of people enjoy drama and conflicts. There are a lot of people that do that. My brother my brother had like 17 girlfriends at any given time. And the one that he called his main girlfriend when we were kids, she was the biggest bitch in the world. She was such a bitch to him, and he fucking loved it. He loved it. He had all these other women that did whatever the hell he wanted, whatever that he wanted them to do, they would do. This one woman, he was like right up her ass because she wasn't having him. So go figure. Okay, let me see. Okay. That I don't allow it as well. True. Okay, Georgie. Hold on. The comments went crazy again because Karen's talking. So hold on a second. Hold on a second. I'm coming back for you guys. Where am I? Okay. Georgie said, I am so used to being single, but I'm open to change. I don't do one night stands for the sake of it. I just haven't met Mrs. Right yet. And you know what? That's definitely, I get that. And you know, it's funny because that's really how you know, especially for a man. Don't take this the wrong way, guys. But, you know, guys don't care. I mean, you know, look at the pornos where there's a hole and they're just sticking that thing in the hole. They don't even know what they're putting it into and they don't even care. They're like, as long as I get off, I'm good, right? So it's amazing to me when I speak to men, and there are a lot of men like that because they need the emotional connection, which we don't normally hear. But I guess as we get older, for men, it's not just about the pretty face anymore, right? Or the hot bod, right? That helps. But if you and the person aren't jiving, then, or the chemistry, whatever. I mean, I can't use the word chemistry because chemistry is a hard thing. I could really dislike somebody, but if they're hot as shit, you know, you could put that aside for, you know, a couple of hours and, you know, do what you got to do. But, you know, I mean, it's interesting to hear that from men that they're not really looking for, you know, a one night stand, that they are. I mean, it's weird because I feel like women are more looking for that now. Like a lot of the women I speak to, a lot of these strong, independent women, they're like, I don't need a man for nothing. I just need him for sex. And I'm like, wow, okay. You know, I want to be like that now. Michael, it's easy to do it's easy not to do anything. If you don't work hard, you don't get nice cars, house, pocketbook, shoes. I believe put your all in and something special will happen. Be positive. Small miracles happen all the time. I agree. And that's the same thing. I talk about that all the time. You know, a relationship takes work. And so let's think about a day, like a normal day prior to COVID. And, you know, you get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, you go to work, you have to travel to work, travel home. By the time, you look at your spouse, it's, let's call it 7 o'clock, right? Now you got to shower, you got to eat. If you have children, you got to do whatever with them, right? So by the time you're looking at each other, it's like 10 o'clock at night and you're done, right? So how much work are you doing on your relationship at that point? You're not having a romantic anything because you're like, please just leave me alone. I want to go to sleep. So it is hard to have a good relationship because it takes time and effort. That being said, if you are with the right person, it's a lot easier. But I was with the right person and it was still hard because we didn't, my husband worked 12-hour days a lot of times and then he traveled to and from. He'd come home at 8:30 at night and I'd been up with my son since 5 o'clock in the morning and I would try to stay awake, but I couldn't. I would fall asleep in the room when my son went to sleep and I couldn't stay awake to even have a conversation with him. It was terrible. But this is what happens in life. So it is hard and you do have to work at it. So is it easier to be alone in the sense that like now, I finish my show, whatever time it is, I go inside. I don't want to talk to nobody. You know, people call me. I don't want to talk to you. I've been on the phone. I've been talking for hours. I don't want to talk no more. So, you know, that's why sometimes I text, because it's just easier than talking, because I'm done. I don't want to hear my own voice any longer. I don't know how you guys take it. But, you know, I mean, you just, yeah. So is it easier? Yeah. But if you're with the right person, then they know, okay, you just finished the show. Sit down and watch your TV show, unwind, and they don't bother you. Maybe you get a nice little foot rub out of it. Who knows? But, you know, that's being with the right people. So that's any relationship. That's either a partner or even a friend, in my opinion. Is it easier not to have friends so that you don't have drama, so that you don't have, you know, hardship because people come in and out of your lives? Sure. But your life is missing stuff without it. We're in this pandemic for a year and a half now. How many people have recognized the fact that we need human contact? We need companionship. So is it easier to be single? Maybe. But as Rita said, it's complicated to be in a relationship. But it's easier to just be happy, right? But a lot of people don't know what that actually means. So share out this video for me, you guys, so that I have more people with the hit me up with some comments here. I want to see what you guys think. All right, let me see. Not sure. Been with Billy 25 years. I was content being single. Okay. Ricky Rick, sometimes you get tired of them coming in and out of your life, but when you push them away, you're wrong. Well, yeah. I mean, unfortunately, you know, what's hard about that is that people that execute that type of behavior are in their own, roller coaster, if you will. You know, those are the people that don't realize, okay? Like, self-awareness is huge, right? You have to realize, I realize it sometimes, and I say to myself, shit, you know, I know this person was going through whatever, and like, I was in touch with them for a you know, certain amount of time, and then I got caught up in my own crap, and I haven't reached out to them. And you take accountability for that. I'm sorry, I've been thinking about you. I haven't reached out. But yes, when people don't do the right thing and you have to actually push them away from you a little bit, they resent that, because that's called boundaries. And people resent boundaries. We all do. Everybody resents boundaries. You know, why do you think when there's a, you know, a concert or whatever, they put those ropes up? Right? It's a boundary. You cannot pass these ropes for the safety of the, you know, performers, right? But we don't want that. We want to be as close to the performers as possible. Some people are very happy being further back, but then there are other people that want to be on top of them on the stage, right? So that's why you have to set boundaries, because people will interject themselves onto you and your life and impose themselves in there. So if you don't set boundaries, that's what happens. Emily, we are absolutely in control of nothing. Enjoy every single second. Right. You know, it's true. So, you know, Emily and I are both, you know, widows, and you don't have control over anything. And this is why it is important to try to be happy. So again, we're talking about, is it easier to be single or alone? And you know what? A lot of people that are married in not such great relationships might think it's easier to be alone because they already feel alone because of the relationship that they're in. So it's really like such a catch-22 in all aspects. You know what I mean? The misery is fantastic company. That is very true, Skycap. Very true. Great topic. Thank you, Vanessa. Michael said, this show is awesome. I hope everyone has a great night and whatever troubles you floats away and don't take the easy way out. There is someone or something out there for everyone, whether a pet, boy, girl, friend, friggin' flower, work till it brings you joy. I believe that too, Michael. Thank you for saying that. And thank you for the kind words. I believe that as well. You know, I teeter with it a little bit in the sense that I say, I know how blessed I was, you know, in finding my husband, and most people live a lifetime without ever knowing the love that I had, and still have, because he's still with me. And I say to myself, I know I deserve that and more. But then you say to yourself, you know, it's like winning the lotto, right? Like if you win the lotto once, right? You don't win the lotto twice. Some people win it 3 times though. So I guess it just depends on what you put into the universe. I said when I lost my husband, I said that I knew there was a bigger picture. And I always said, I know there were greater things out there for me. I know there's something great out there for me. And yes, I'm 51 now, and I want the great things like now, because I want to be able to enjoy them, you know, before, you know, I mean, time is something we never get back, right? So we not that we wasted, we spent a lot of time this past year and a half with putting so much on hold, right? But yet we had all this time to grow. We had all this time to work on ourselves. We had all this time to organize our thoughts. We had all this time to maybe learn something new, to create something new. You know, we had time, which is something that we don't usually have when the world isn't shut down. And guess what? It's going to start going by real fast now, because the world is going to spin again really, really soon, at least here in New York. I know I have a lot of people in other countries watching, so let me, you know, correct myself there. But use the time, this downtime, you know, to make you realize how important it is to live and to live your life, and maybe not isolate yourself so much. Maybe take a chance, you know, take a chance on love, take a chance on a friend. You never know till you try. And guess what? If they're not the right person, then you have to really be smart, and you have to set those boundaries and say to yourself, you know what? I know what I want. I know who I am, and I'm going to give it a shot. But guess what? You know what the hardest thing in life is? Knowing what you want. We all figure out, I think as we live our life, we figure out what we don't want. Isn't as easy to really know what you want. If I said to you right now, write down 3 things, right? Because they call that like the board, right? It's like a vision board. And they tell you to put pictures, like if there's a car you want, they tell you to put a picture of the car. If there's a business you want, they tell you to put the picture, you know, if there's a house, you put the picture of the house. You know, you plant all these seeds and put it out into the universe, right? So if I said to you, what are 3 things? What do you want? Right? So now my answer to what do you want? My answer is everything. I want everything. I want everything that life can give me. I want it all, right? Now that's crazy, right? I mean, not so much, but yeah. But then when you say, what do you want? I want to be happy. But what does happy look like? It changes, right? And some of us don't even know what happy looks like. Do you know if you're happy? Do you even know if you're a miserable person? You know, some people think that they're like, great. Oh, why? What somebody had a problem with me? What did I do wrong? Well, okay. You know, because they're not self-aware. You got to be self-aware. You know, it's like me saying like to somebody like, yeah, I blend. Like, you know, oh yeah, no, I'll just go over there. Nobody will even know I'm there. Yeah, okay. You know, so you got to know yourself. Emily, every day something beautiful happens. Sometimes we have to look for the miracles, but even in the storm clouds, they are there. Abso-freaking-lutely. Absolutely. And it's so hard for us to train ourselves to look at things that way, because it is so much easier to revert back to the gloom and the doom, right? We all go into flight mode. We all go into that. And I'm telling you, that book, I haven't been reading it because I can't keep my eyes open these days. But that book, Do the Work, it talks about that. We go into these fight and flight modes. We go into the what I call survival mode, right? Where we shut down. We go into numbing mode, where we go out or we drink or we do drugs or we have sex with, multiple people so that we don't feel, right? So we all have different coping skills, right? And a lot of those coping skills are, destructive. So it's hard to change your thought to good, because all we do is gravitate back to the bad. The minute something bad happens, we go right back there. It's like people say all the time, right? You do 1,000,000 good things for somebody, you do 100 good things, and then you do one bad thing, and all everybody remembers is the one bad thing that happened, and it negates the millions of other good things. Why? Because people want to harp on that shit. They want to harp on that negative stuff. That's what they want to harp on. And it's just human nature for some reason. It's not human nature for us to actually be happy and to see things. We have to work hard. And maybe it's from our upbringing. Maybe it's from the world. It's hard to say. But instead of being optimistic, most people are pessimistic. Most people see that glass as half, empty and not half full. Again, thank you guys for tuning in to Real Talk with Karen Stacy. We're still not live on the radio, but we are live on Facebook. We are live on the Karen Stacy page. Hit that thumbs up button. Turn your notifications on. We are live on the Real Talk Coffee Talk group. Make sure you join the group. Make sure you join your friends to the group. And don't forget to subscribe on YouTube and Twitch, Real Talk Karen Stacy. I ask you guys to please share out the video. And guess what? You can share the video even when I'm not live, because people can still watch it. There are a lot of people going through a lot of things. And, maybe it's a subtle way of helping them, because you can share this video and there may be somebody that is single, and maybe they said to you, I don't care, I want to be single. It's easier, I'm good alone, which again, a lot of people are. But I wonder, because most people that say it that way, they're not good. That's a front. They say they're good because they don't have the person that they really wanted to be with. So you have to see where it comes from. Tony said, true, happiness is hard to find. Yes, life is good and you need to enjoy your life to the fullest. Ed, the mind is your worst enemy when you are alone. Absolutely. I agree. 10,000%. Okay. Let me see. Toxic people are no. I don't know who that is, but I agree with you. Hey, Asa, how are you? Good evening. Ricky, I live alone. Sometimes it's good, but sometimes bad, because you need that someone, just a cuddle with them and just feel wanted. Yeah, and you know what, Ricky? You know what I say to that? Until you find that person, adopt a pet. My Bella sits on me. I'm good. Facts, I'm about to go out and have some drinks. There you go, Tony. Fuck buddies. What is that? Yeah, okay, Tony. Alyssa said fuck buddies. It's not fun being alone, Jersey Jimmy said. Let me see. Dating at 40 sucks. Real talk. The Golden Girls. Oh, that's my favorite show, Skycap. That was my grand's favorite show, and to watch it with her all the time growing up. My son, when he was a baby, when they would play the theme song, thank you for being a friend, my son would bop his head, because I still watch this show ad nauseum. The Golden Girls and The Nanny. If it's on, I'm watching it. I've seen every episode at least 1,000 times each. I've been watching it for, I don't know how many, since it's been on the air. Okay. So, I get it. And you know what? If you look at them, there are 4 women that are all living together, and they are not alone. They have each other, right? So that's what I'm saying is, it doesn't necessarily have to be a relationship, but it's being with other people, I mean, they still go in their own beds and go to sleep at night by themselves. But when they wake up in the morning, they have somebody to have coffee with, because there was no coffee talk then, right? But yeah, that's a really good point, Sky. Being alone, you start to put up a wall. Very true, Mark. And that was kind of what I was just saying, is that's what happens. Like, it's a defense mechanism, because it's like, you know what? I'm good. Whenever somebody says to you, I'm good, that means they're not good, because that's a defense mechanism. So I agree. And people do absolutely 100% put up a wall. And not only do they put up a wall, but they also become so set in their ways that there is no room for another person. Because how can that person fit into your life when you make no room for them? And the reason why you're not making room for them is because you don't want to get hurt. If you want, I always make my analogies with dieting and stuff. If you want to lose weight, you got to change the way you eat. If you want to lose weight, you got to exercise. When you exercise, it hurts. Your body hurts. No one wants their body to hurt. But the only way you're going to see improvement is by pushing through that pain, so that eventually it doesn't hurt, because now you have created the body that you want. That's called growth. And a lot of us don't grow because we stay stagnant, and then we blame it on others. Well, I'm alone because people suck. Oh, okay. It's everybody else's fault. So how many relationships have you tried to be in, and it's always their fault, right? So now if it's their fault, then you're putting into the universe whatever is bringing these people to you. So whose fault is it again? So that's the part that everybody says, I don't understand why I always end up with these people. You know what? There's no good men out there. There's no good women out there. You sure about that? I beg to differ. But people put that out into the universe, and that's what they're attracting. Never, never, never. You okay? Let me see. Who else is here? Angelo said it depends. What's up, Joe Q? Sorry about today, Karen. I was knocked out. It's all good, baby. I'm glad you're here now. Some people change every single day. Well, if they're changing for good, then that's a good thing. But if people change every day, Skycap, and it's because they're fucking schizophrenic, that's not good. That's if they want to change, they got to put in the work. Absolutely, Mark. Amen. I agree to that 100%. And that's the thing, is a lot of people don't want to change because they don't take accountability for their own actions, and they think they blame it on everybody else. Let me see where we are here. Hold on a second. All the comments went crazy. I'm coming back to you guys. I did not. Okay, hold on. I'm coming. Oh my God. Wow. I was really talking up a storm here. Let me see here. Okay, I'm back. Here we are. The comments go crazy. What could I tell you? Usually I fix them and then they leave. Yeah, right. Ain't that the truth, Carmela? Right? Like, that's the worst, right? When you get a person, like you're in a relationship with a person, you go through all these things, and you break up and they go out with somebody else, and they're like the perfect, boyfriend or girlfriend. You're like, really? Fucking really? That's true. They force the relationship. Oh yeah. I can't stand Fugazi. Emily, you're the best. Let me see. The pic of you and Karen filled my heart. So sad I missed it. I'm not sure who you were talking to there, Emily, but thank you so much. Oh, me and Jimmy. Yeah. Joe Q, if you want to be happy for the rest of your life, never make a pretty woman your wife. You're such an ass. You are so corny. Rita, it will be 15 years since my daughter's dad passed. I honestly haven't dated much because really it's not worth the trouble. It's not easy being single or alone, but I'm proud of myself for focusing on what is most important. Do your best each and every day. I agree with that too. But again, it's not worth the trouble. It's easy being single or alone. You're isolating yourself from the world, right? So that's actually what we're talking about right now, and that's the whole thing. Is it? So you're saying, yes, it's easier to be alone. Emily, I wish people watching and talking to my business partners on the plane the other day, and he said you can be fine. He said you can be fine as fuck, but there's someone sick of their shit. Yeah, that's very true. Absolutely. Vinny Dice never wants to hear my voice. I know. It's all right. It's okay. He still loves me. It's all good. Happiness comes from within. Well, that's true. But that being said, I believe that we are our happiest when we have the right people in our lives. So I try to be happy from within. I love myself. But I'm definitely happier when I'm with the right people. There's no doubt about that. And anybody that doesn't feel that way, I don't know. I think, everybody's so tough. I don't need nobody. I'm not that tough. I need people. I like people. Not everybody, but you I like. The other people, no. I mean, seriously, a lot of people, that's a defense mechanism. Yeah, I don't need nobody. You're fucking full of shit. Of course you do. We all need somebody. Don't even say that. But what happens is that we get so resentful because people screw us and they really, really hurt us. So now we're better off. I don't need nobody. I'm good. And that's, like I said, it's a defense mechanism. Happiness comes from within. Hi, Jimmy. How are you? We all have stuff going on and we have to reach out to others. Okay. I am the best, aren't I, Tony? No, I'm only kidding. I agree. Boundaries, said it. Facebook only chat? No, what do you mean? I don't know who else is on Twitch, my love. All right. Let me see. Being single is a cop-out, Angel said. If you are in a bad marriage, you can feel like you're alone, but it's not the same thing as being in a home by yourself. Okay. Yeah, Jimmy, we already talked about that earlier. I think you jumped on late. Michael Samos, oh, good night, sweetheart. Thank you for your comments. Jennifer, I'm so glad I tuned in. You are spot on. Thank you so much, sweetheart. I really appreciate that, Jennifer. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. Angel, relationships are the lottery. They take meaningful effort and the will to learn how to love your partner. Yeah, I told everybody said they wanted to win the lotto. And I used to say I already did because that's how I felt about my husband. I said I already won the lotto. So I agree. Joseph, good evening. Joseph DeStefano, good evening. Angel, look at you being a cop. Yeah. If you give positive out, you get positive back. Sometimes. There's my Vinny. Hi, Vinny. Relationships are not the lottery. Well, I don't know what relationships are the lottery. But I just felt that I won the lottery. I just used your word back at you. Somebody saying hi. I can't see your name, but hi. Manifesting. There you go, Maria. I spent 31 years with the wrong person. Yeah, Giselle, that's painful, right? That's real painful. And it's so difficult to get out of that, right? So God bless you that you were able to do that. Let me see. You need to enjoy and have fun. You get used to being unhappy for so long, and you don't know what happy is. Exactly. That's what I'm saying, Giselle, is that people get so stuck. I say you get stuck on stupid, but you get stuck on that. It's so easy. Why is it so easy to go back to your darkest days than to go back to the lightest light? Why? Why does that happen? We're human, and that's what we do. It's crazy, right? Hold on. Did I hear her say sex? Oh my God. I don't know. Did I say it? I can't say for sure. That's known as you're only good as long as your last ball game. That's very true. I do say that. Karen, adult thinking, relationships take effort. Lazy people don't like effort. That's true. But again, I feel like when you speak to people like that, you're insulting them. So if you're going to try to make a statement like that, like I would reword that, like, Karen, adult thinking, relationships take effort. So you have to put the effort in. We don't want to like insult people by calling them lazy, because the lazy people are the last people that are even going to look at that and think they're the lazy people. So I try to word it a little bit differently, only because the minute somebody hears that, it's like you're, attacking them, so to speak. So we're not attacking lazy people. I think we're all lazy to some degree. But I think that it's like anything else. Like we could be like lazy about things, but when it's something you really, really want, you put the effort in, right? Okay. I do not like dating drama. Who the hell does? Joe Q, I was single 4 years. It would bother me going to my pool in my complex, seeing other couples around. Huh. Interesting. See, a lot of people say that, like they don't want to see other people like that. I guess after everything I've been through, I blocked that out, to be honest with you. Because I gotta say, a lot of people that aren't single, they're not happy in their relationship. My husband used to point out to me how when he would come to see me, like after work or whatever, and we were someplace, I don't want to mention names, all of the husbands or the wives, whatever, everybody would see each other after work. And most of them never even kissed each other hello. They barely acknowledged the fact that they came. The minute my husband came in, the first thing he did was come to me and kiss me and tell me he loved me. And he used to say to me, pay attention. Look, watch how people are. So I don't see couples and feel that way because, I don't know, I see so many couples, you don't even know they're together. They're that like not into each other. Right. And so, I don't know, there are people that have people, but I don't feel that way. And, I hope you don't feel that way anymore, Joe Q. I hope that you made peace with that. Hey, Mario, how are you? Angela, hard work pays off, even when we love ourselves. Well, you got to love yourself, right? We were talking about that in earlier. I don't know when you jumped on, Angela, but that's the first thing that we spoke about is you have to love yourself. Hey, Rochelle, honey, how are you? Let me see. Hold on a second. The comments went crazy again. Bear with me. I'm coming back to you guys. Okay. Okay. Where am I? If you want to be happy, make yourself happy. Okay. But they still end. Okay. How do you know if a female you dated in the past got you fixed? What, Sky? What the hell does that mean? I don't understand that. Being around happy people will be happy and make you happy. I don't know if I believe that, though. Sometimes being around happy people pisses me the fuck off. Like, all right, what are you so happy about here? Like, this is a little too much for me. You know what I'm saying? Emily, oh, I'm not tough. I need all my friends and family, especially right now. And I remind myself they need me too. Abso-freaking-lutely, Emily. And that's what I mean is that a lot of people take on that, that mentality. I don't like that mentality because we all need each other. Thank you, Jimmy. Love you too. Amazing friends are the lottery too. I believe that as well. Jersey Jimmy, I love my life. I live my life to the fullest, but I still need that companionship without a doubt. Yeah, I hear you. I feel the same way. So here's the good part. The good thing is if you love your life and you're happy in your life, then adding another person to your life is only going to make it that much better, right? But what happens is a lot of us don't do the work, and a lot of us are waiting for that prince or prince, the Prince Charming or the princess to make our life good. No, 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 no. That's not how it happens. Okay? If you're cooking and you make a beautiful pot of sauce tastes good, but it's better once you get the salt. You got to add a little salt to it, right? So now your life is good. You can live your life, but now that right person comes in. Now it's perfect, right? So the difference, like when I'm making my analogy with the sauce, you could have eaten the sauce without the what's that called? The salt, right? And then think about that. You could have the perfect sauce and then you don't put the salt in and it's missing something, or you put too much salt in and now you got too much of something. And that happens too, right? How about those people that interject themselves so much in your life that now it's too much, right? So we get afraid of that too. But we have to check the red flags. And a lot of us some people are so eager to have a relationship that they overlook the red flags. And some people are so ready, like some people are so jaded that they're looking for that person. The one thing, they sneeze wrong and they're like, you see, I know it. And they're out. So it's a funny thing, right? And that's the way it should be. You should have a good life that someone can enter. And now your life is even better. That's what I think. Because when someone else makes your life, and don't get me wrong, I would be a hypocrite, right? Because I said my husband was my whole life, right? So we built a life together. So it's different, right? But when you're adding people and you're getting to that point, then obviously, it's in addition to, it's not the same thing as building, but you know what? You do build a life together. And eventually when you build that life together, you can't live without each other. And that's the way it's supposed to be. Well, at least in my opinion. Let me see. Emily said, I love seeing couples that are absolutely in love. It reminds me of that beautiful time in my life. It's wonderful when people get to have that experience. I agree. I love my bed. Oh, good for you. That I like my bed too, Carmela. Lodi, New Jersey. Okay, hi Chuck. How are you? Like how somebody said they fixed them, then they left. Meaning, that's what Carmela said. Meaning like, okay, like we taught you, I'll give an example, like, how to, that, okay, on your, bring flowers, or how to cook, or how to pick out clothes, or how to wash your ass, how to get a good cologne, how to have style, how to learn how to talk, how to learn how to act when you go to an event, how to learn how to be a family man, how to learn how to open up a door. I could go on, but that's what, I think was the implication there of, teaching somebody, how to be a great partner, and then they fly the coop. Chuck said, listen, when you find someone, don't mess up like I did. I live with it every day, even though we are still talking, trying to work it out. I messed up bad. Well, you know what, Chuck? I'm sorry, but good for you that you realize that you messed up. It's important because you can't fix it unless you recognize that there was a problem. So you know what? Kudos to you. And hopefully you guys are talking and maybe you can work it out. So, never give up. Let me see. When it's meant to be, it will happen. You know what, Rita? I believe that as well, sweetheart. I do. You teach them everything and they leave you. Right. So that's what I was saying, Skycap. Exactly. But yeah, I believe that as well. Is everybody still on here? I don't know. The numbers, was it something I said? Where is everybody? What the hell, man? What are you going to do? But yeah, I think this was a good topic because, and meanwhile, my friend that I did this show for, or inspired me to do it, they ain't here. But I guess the moral of the story here is that I think Rita really worded it well when she said, that, it's just less complicated. And it is less complicated when there aren't, the more people that are in your life, the more complications you will have, especially if you don't set boundaries. But as far as, is it easier to be single or alone? In certain aspects, sure. But I don't believe that you will live your fullest life being alone. And that's just my personal opinion. I know it's very difficult to let people in, especially later in life when we've been through hell and back. It is very difficult to let people in. It is very difficult to trust someone because trust is earned. So you know what? It's tenfolds, 100% tenfolds. But I'm here to remind everybody that life is not meant to be lived alone. As I said, this pandemic has taught us how much we need to be around people. We need that companionship. So although it may be easier per se, I don't think that we are meant to live our life that way. That's my personal opinion. I think that at times it's easier, but if you have a good person in your life, they make your life easier. I mean, look, even just look at Carmela. Carmela has made my life easier by helping me grow my show, and everything that goes along with it. When putting an event together, all of these things, not being alone made it easier. And I don't know if easy is the right word, but it made it better. So again, just a play on words, but when you have the right people beside you, it does make it easier because you are not alone. But when you are with someone and you feel alone, that's no good. And when you're in a relationship where you are lonely, that's no good, right? So I'm just saying that I hope everybody has the conversation in their heads and they realize that we are not meant to be alone. And I believe that when somebody says it's easier to be alone, it's a defense mechanism. And I'm not going to lie, I'm living it too. I'm alone. So, and I tell myself that all the time. What the world needs now is love. We all need love. That's it. We need love. And anybody that thinks that they don't need love is only like fooling themselves. That's what I always say, right? Barbara Streisand is playing in my head. People who need people. I know, right, Rosie? Very funny. People do need people. I agree with that. So I'm going to leave you guys with this. It may be easier, they always say, the road less traveled, right? Usually the easiest thing isn't always going to get you to the finish line. So if you choose easy over challenge, you may never really get to your fullest potential. You know, when you go to work out and you do your own workout, right? And then you don't see the results. So then you decide to get a trainer. And this trainer, all of a sudden you're working out with this trainer for like a month and your whole body changes. So you were working out before, but it was too easy. So now the trainer wasn't letting you have an easy workout, right? Your trainer was training you. So you put the work in and now you got the results. So remember that. You know, I just try to remind you guys these things because life keeps hitting us from every angle possible. And it's hard to stay afloat, but you're not alone. We get it. And I just want you to check yourself a little bit, because if you're one of those people that are, you know, protecting themselves from being hurt, you're also preventing yourself from being loved. So remember that. I know it's hard. It's a double-edged sword, 1,000%. So that's my take on, is it easier to be single or alone? So alone together. That's very, very profound, Sky Cap. Absolutely. That's where we are now, right? Alone together. And so again, we have understood that being alone is not really all it's cracked up to be, right? Just always remember, enjoy the small things in life. Absolutely, Jimmy. And it's not easy to do that. So, you know, thank you all for everything that you've said. Thank you for your input. You know, I think that, you know, we need to talk about these things, because maybe there's somebody on here that's been afraid to open up their heart. And maybe tonight, listening to this show, they may think about it. And if you think about it and you're happily in love, you know, years from now, or you make a new best friend or whatever it is, then, you know, scream out my name. All right. I love you guys. I am calling it a night. I have no voice left. I love you all. Don't forget, first of all, everybody, I know we have some new people here. Well, not new, but we have some people here. Wait, I got to show you guys a clip before I do this from one of the clips from my party. I needed to, Maro said, I needed to hear all this tonight. Thank you. Oh, thank you. That really, you're going to make me cry. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Mora, that's your name. Okay. Thank you so much for that. You know what, like I say all the time, there are a lot of people that are on Facebook Live, that are on YouTube, that are on all these different, you know, places. And, you know, they have, you know, hundreds of listeners, thousands of listeners and viewers. And you know what? That's great. But if I have one person that listened and they are better for it, then that is what makes me do what I do every single day, because that's what it's all about. Because, you know, it's just like, I hate to make this comparison, but, you know, it's like the vaccines, right? They're saying that, you know, 20 people out of 8 million, you know, whatever the number is, right? Don't quote me on it, but, you know, 20 people out of the 8 million or 20,000, I don't remember how many it was. Okay. But, you know, that they had the reaction and the other 8 million didn't. So we go to the masses on that, right? But those 20 people that died because of it mattered. So I'm just saying, every person matters, and it all depends on, you know, what you find success to be. People look at numbers and they'll think, oh, wow, that person has thousands of people listening, you know, at one time. But you know what? If my 20, 200, whatever it is, my hundreds of people that watch this, if one person tonight looks at things differently, then I'm happy. So I appreciate that, and I thank you for it. And I will keep you guys posted for anybody. I know a lot of people. First of all, thank you again for anybody on the feed now that was able to come to the party on Saturday night. Had a great time. Carmela finally sent me some videos and pictures. And we are hopefully going to know when our next event is going to be really, 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 really soon, like really, really soon, so that everybody can plan ahead. Because remember, all the amazing people on the feed are the same amazing people that you're going to meet in person. So I think, like Rita said, the world needs more love. And you know what? I'm here to make that happen. I am here to make that happen. I am here to make everybody spread love and kindness. Be humble and kind. That's what I'm here to try to do each and every day. And my events will do the same thing. And that's all we have. I want to only be around amazing, beautiful people. And you guys are all amazing and beautiful. So thank you so much for your support. Thank you for being you. I love you all. Thanks for sticking with me tonight. I think this was a great topic. And I'll see you guys tomorrow at 11 o'clock. I just can't seem to get enough of all of you. I had a great time at the party, but more importantly, I enjoy the show every day with all of you. Thank you, Rita. You know what? And that is all I can ask for. So thank you so much, Rita, for saying that. I'm so glad that you came on Saturday as well. And I'm grateful. I mean, anybody that comes on my show says, my God, like your feed is so awesome. Like you have such a great following. At the venue, they even said, this was an amazing crowd. Thank you. This is what I want. This is the type of person that I am. And don't take it the wrong way, but I don't tolerate that. And maybe that's why my feed isn't, doesn't have thousands of people on it, because I won't have nonsense go on my feed. I would rather have the people I have. And you know what? All of you stay with me. We've been on for an hour and a half now, and most people started with me and finished with me. So that's what matters to me. So I just want to say thank you. Vanessa, thank you so much, sweetheart. We had a great time. Can't wait for the next. Absolutely. So thank you all again so much. I appreciate each and every one of you. I will see you guys tomorrow at 11 a.m. for Coffee Talk with Karen. Thank you so much for tuning in to Real Talk with Karen Stacy. And this was definitely real talk, right? There was no bullshitting going on over here. I didn't make it on the radio, but that's okay because we love you. I love you too, Maria. I hope you guys have a fabulous night, and don't forget to tune in each and every weekday, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. for Coffee Talk with Karen. So I will see you guys tomorrow at 11 a.m. and I am here for Real Talk with Karen Stacy every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Mwah. Love you guys. See you tomorrow. Bye.